Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Yakov Spektor, an immigration attorney. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your time, Yakov, on educating our listeners, our viewers. And of course, we try to answer questions that are posted out there on Google that are sent to us by our viewers. And a very popular question is, can a green card holder marry an illegal immigrant? What do you think, Yakov?
Question. That question seems, like it might not necessarily be about immigration law at all.
Okay.
It might be something out of the realm of maybe of family law, something that a family lawyer might want to answer. But, there are no stupid questions, okay? And actually, I think what we do here is we try to answer any question that our viewers might pose, and they know that there are no stupid questions. The only stupid thing that you might do is not to ask.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay, so now the question of whether an illegal a green card holder may marry an illegal immigrant. Okay, it has two parties to it, as there are two parties to any marriage, right? And one of those is a green card holder, the other one is an illegal immigrant. Okay, so it seems like a silly question. Why would somebody even ask that? Okay, of course anybody could marry anybody. Love conquers all. Okay, if you want to be with someone, who is the U.S. government to tell you whether you can be with that person or not, right? But as I said, there are no stupid questions. Okay, it's a very legitimate question. But what our viewer was probably asking is, if I'm an illegal immigrant and my fiance is a green card holder, would my fiance be able to apply for my papers, for my green card? That's probably the question.
I guess, like you said, it's a two-part question. First one is, where in US they can go to even get married? Isn't even allowed for such a marriage to be sanctified, if you will, by the state? That's the first question. Second, as you correctly pointed out, what are the benefits, if any, for an illegal immigrant marrying a green card holder? So let's answer the first part first. Is there even a way for them to get married or no?
There is, and I'm sure you all saw it in the movies how a couple of strangers might meet each other in Las Vegas, and 20 minutes later, a priest dressed as Elvis Presley is walking them down the aisle, marrying them. And the reason why that that situation ends up being, finding its way into movies, from time to time, is precisely because of the laws of the state of Nevada. Okay, you don't have to really wait. There's no waiting period. You could just get married to your sweetheart whenever your fancy strikes. Even if it's on Saturday night at midnight. Okay, there's going to be an Elvis Presley who will get you married. Okay, and that's because the laws of the state of Nevada are set up that way. Okay, now in some other states the laws might be different, but in any state that you will find yourself in, okay, you will be able to get married even if you're illegal. Okay, because
both. Are you saying even if both parties are illegal? Both parties.
Exactly. Well, there might, let's say if you're getting married in New York, right? New York State might want to know if one or both of the parties are actually residents of the state of New York, right? So different states might have different rules, but being legal or illegal from the immigration standpoint is not one of them. Okay, immigration, you're not illegal, you're not an illegal person, you're always a human being, you're always a person. It's only your immigration status that we're talking about. So it doesn't matter what your immigration status is, you should be able to get married to your sweetheart in the United States.
But like you said, maybe you may have to prove residence by providing some kind of document, maybe a driver's license or a non-driver state license that indicates you are a resident of that state. Okay,
Well,
very good.
maybe
Now,
family lawyer. I remember when I was getting married, I don't think we really had to provide a lot of evidence, you know. But one thing to note, okay, and once again, take my advice with a grain of salt here. I'm not an expert in family law. I'm an expert in immigration law. But you know, when you go and get married, okay, the clerk, an overworked government employee who will be getting you married, he might not ask you for all of the evidence that will confirm to him that you are actually eligible to get married. Okay, let's say you're not divorced from your previous spouse yet. Okay, you know what? You cannot get married to someone else if you're not divorced from your first spouse or second spouse or third spouse, because that would be bigamy. That's being married to more than one person at a time, and that's illegal in every state of the union.
even in Utah.
Even in Utah, yeah, strangely enough, exactly. Although at some point it wasn't. But you know, so you might still be able to get married because you will not, you know, the clerk will not ask you for those divorce decrees. But what that will mean is that at some point, when later on, let's say you're applying for your green card, or you are executing a will, or you know, you live for 50 years happily ever after, and then you peacefully pass in your sleep, and your wife stands to inherit, you know, basically, you know, your fortune that will allow her to live her remaining days in peace. And at that point, she might find out that you guys weren't actually married. Okay, so as with everything else in life, do your research, you know, take a look at the requirements and make sure that you follow them. And I think now that would take us to the second question.
Yeah, that's a great, perfect segue. And the second part of the question is, are there any benefits for that illegal immigrant in marrying a green card holder, or the only benefit, the benefit is getting a citizenship? That's the main benefit. Or the other party has to be a U.S. citizen.
So now we are coming to the you know, to the question where I might actually be able to serve as an expert. Okay, the immigration component.
Excellent.
Okay, so now if you do get married to a green card holder, is the green card holder going to be able to apply for you for your own green card, so that you can get your papers? Okay, and as usual, the answer to that question is it's complicated.
Wow.
Okay, now
I was expecting that. I was expecting.
Unfortunately, but I'll give you some you know, kind of guidelines so that you might be able to navigate through the first steps in that calculation. Okay, but don't take my word for it. Don't take, you know, don't just use that to, you know, to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on your legal case before you consult about your particular situation.
Right.
Okay, so let's say you have no immigration status here, and you get married to a permanent resident of the United States. Okay, so that person has a green card, but that person is not a citizen. If you get married to your sweetheart who is a green card holder, you might be you might not have any papers here, but you want to go ahead and apply for your own papers. Now, will you be able to do so? And the answer to that is basically, you know, it will. I'm kind of trying to condense this into something that you guys will be able to use.
Right.
Look, if you're the first thing that you might want to do once you do get married, okay, find out how soon it is that your new husband or wife can apply for his or her citizenship. Okay. To become a U.S. citizen. And the reason why you might want to find out is because a lot of people here, they you know, they spend many years without actually becoming U.S. citizens. They just stay they stay green card holders for many years. Okay, even though I always recommend that you become a U.S. citizen as soon as possible, and I think we even did a couple of videos about that. But a lot of people, they feel like they don't want to bother they say, well, why do I have to pay the filing fees?
Right.
And then I might have to do jury duty, you know,
Mhm.
and they don't realize that if you become a US citizen, okay, that's it. You are safe from deportation. You're able to apply for your loved
Yeah,
ones.
we had a whole video on that, do not
Doing it.
hesitate, do not wait, because there are a lot of benefits that having that passport or having that certificate of naturalization gives you that you would not have otherwise.
Exactly. And one of those benefits is that you might be able to apply for your new husband or your new wife much easier than if you were just a green card holder. So it's generally speaking, it's much easier for U.S. citizens to apply for their spouses than it is for permanent residents. So
But
find out if you're
interim,
new. I'm sorry, Michael.
Meanwhile, until your spouse becomes a citizen, him or her being a green card holder, does that give you any kind of protection, any kind of benefit, or you gotta wait until they become a citizen?
So that's an easy answer. Not at all. Okay. So even if, but let me put it this way, even if your husband and wife, I'm sorry, husband or wife, your new husband or wife is a US citizen, okay, before you actually become a green card holder, you might not get that many protections. Okay. So that might not really, do much for you. So if you get married to your sweetheart and that person is only a green card holder, find out first if that person is eligible to apply for naturalization. That might be the first step that you guys might want to take before that person applies for you. Okay. Now, sometimes that's not, either that's many years away, or for whatever reason that person is not able to become a citizen. People's situations are as different as people themselves. But if that's not a possibility, in certain situations, it might still be possible for your new husband or wife to apply for you, even while that person is still a green card holder. But it might be more difficult, it might be more time consuming, it might be more expensive, and it might not even be possible. Okay, so if you find yourself to be in that kind of a situation. So to go back to our original question,
right?
Can an illegal and a green card holder get married? Okay, you can absolutely get married, and you should if you love each other and you want to get married.
Yes.
And whether you are able to get a green card on that basis, that's something that you want to take up during your next consultation with a proper immigration attorney.
Perfect. That's a perfect segue into the point where I tell everybody that this is only a general educational session. We're here to educate you about different aspects of immigration law, what are the pitfalls, how to avoid certain scams, what rights you may or may not have. But if you want to have specific information on your specific case, you have to call an immigration attorney, and I would call somebody who actually does this day in, day out, not somebody who wears 100 different hats. I do real estate, I do family law, I do personal injury, and some immigration aside. Somebody like Yakov Spektor does only immigration. That's what he and his firm is very familiar with. So we encourage you to call the phone number on the bottom of the screen to schedule a consultation with Yakov Spektor. Yakov, thank you so much for your time, for educating us. And I'm going to come back to you with our next question very soon. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Have a good one, Michael. Take care, everyone.